Anyway, the example from a former student. So you have, and on Blackboard, well, you can see one example, but if you download the document, you can see both. And so this is how you're going to be doing the annotated bibliography, except that you're going to do 5 sources, right? When you do an annotated bibliography, it's always, so it's double space, Times New Roman, size 12 font, and also you put your sources in alphabetical order. See how it's B and then C? By the first letter and the first word of each source, right? So you don't put your sources, you don't put them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You put them in alphabetical order. So that's one of the first main points of the annotated bibliography. Then you do your APA citation, you do your paragraph, which has 5 sentences, APA citation, paragraph. The paragraph is explaining the source, the information on there briefly, and how you're going to be using it for your speech. So then you would make sure that you're getting these five sources, right? When you are doing, so also another thing to remember is that the first line is not indented, but the others are. And this is to indicate, what is one source. This is one source, this is another source. So then, when you are indenting the lines, okay, if I was to go up here and if I hit enter, then it indents everything. So I have to go ahead, the lines that I want to indent, I highlight, right? Like these two. So you don't, the paragraph, it'll let you indent it. You indent the whole paragraph. But the lines that you want to indent for your source, you have to go ahead and highlight. You right click, a paragraph. Then you have to find the special section. Then you're going to go ahead and select hanging. Here it's already selected because I already did it, but before it would say none, and then now it says hanging. You have to go ahead and select hanging. So you go ahead and you put hanging. And then you put OK, and then it'll indent it for you. So that is how you indent the required lines. So that's how it has to go ahead and it has to be. So you're going to do 5 of the sources, right? So you're doing an ebook, a magazine article, a newspaper article, internet article. 5 you get to choose, all about your social problem. So that's how you do this. Remember, Word also uses a citation tool, so you can go ahead and go here to the main menu, and you go ahead and you find the tab that you need, which is here, references. Then you're going to go ahead and make sure it's APA, right? So we're using APA, and you would insert a citation. You know, what is it that you have? You have a book. You have different here, electronic source, different things here, and you go ahead and you put the author, you put the title, the city, so you put the information, and they'll put it together for you in APA, and then you would go ahead and put OK, and it starts to save your sources that way, right? Insert citation. Then it'll do the works cited for you. Bibliography. Okay. And so insert citation, and that's how you can use Word to help you do to do the sources in APA, right? Now, let me go into the APA element first. Right? On the PowerPoint, you'll see a link to OWL Purdue. OWL Purdue is a university online writing lab, and so it has that credibility that you need. And when you're on here, you go ahead and you find what it is that you have, right? So you want to look at a book, right? You have a book. Or you have other electronic sources here, and it starts with the basic rules, and then it divides to what sources you need, right? So you would click here, so you have to look for your source, and it'll tell you how to cite it, and it gives you an example. And here also it has citation help on the top too. So how to cite, a web page. So you're doing an internet article, so here it is, right? It gives you the format and then an example. And so then it goes into other articles, a journal article, how to go ahead and cite that, news article. So pretty much you'll be using this section, but then there's other sections for you to go ahead and use. So Wikipedia is not allowed as a reference, right? Because here it has Wikipedia, how to cite it. Wikipedia, what you do is a way for you to start, right? A way for you to get background knowledge, but you don't ever put it in an annotated bibliography or on a reference page. It's a way for you to start to look at a certain topic. Then you go ahead and you find the source. So if I was, just really quick, breast cancer. All these ads. You want to look for .orgs, .edus, be careful of .coms. So I'm just looking for Wikipedia, right? And so you don't ever put it in a reference page or add to the bibliography, but you want to, get a background on the topic, which is fine, and you want to go to the original source. So the information will come up and you see different things. So what you do is you go to the very bottom. They have, sometimes they use credible sources. It's just that Wikipedia has multiple authors and they're always revising the information, and you don't know who makes those revisions. That's why the credibility is questioned. So, but they do use a lot of different things here. They have different journal articles, and you can go and try to get the original one. When you see a journal article, don't purchase anything. Go to the library and try to retrieve it, so that way you're not paying for anything, right? And so you have different fact sheets. It's maybe click on it and it goes to the original source, right? It goes to this National Cancer Institute. And so it has different stats. And this is how you can use Wikipedia. You go to that source, right? So just a heads up on that, because here the reference list has different sources. Okay. Next, I just put citationmachine.net. And it also helps you to put your sources in APA format. And so you only want to create citations, you would start there. Just has a lot of ads, but it's a little slow sometimes. APA. And then you're going to go ahead and choose what you have, a magazine, newspaper, website. And then as I was put a magazine. You would put the information in as well. Or it lets you, if you here, you put the magazine that you found, you put the article here, maybe the link, or the author. You can go ahead and search for it and you might find it, and then it'll help you to format it as well. Okay, so there's that. Then you have these different tools to go ahead and help you with the APA format. The last part is EPCC libraries. When you're, I put the link on the PowerPoint, but when you're on the EPC, you go to epcc.edu, you go to the main menu, and then you're going to go under resources and libraries. You're going to go here under the libraries link, and then it gets you to this one. So you can, there's the different campuses, the different sources. It has even citation help where it has the APA handout, right? Then when you go to library research guides, it has a library research guide for this class that can also help you. You go by subject and you go to speech. Then it has my name and for speech 1315. And they'll have different information, even though the syllabus, it might be from a previous class, but it has ebooks, it has APA citation help, it has handouts that you can go ahead and use, and so it has that for you, okay? I just want, when you're getting the ebook for the first one, here you go to this link before we go to the online database link. You go to this link here. And you can go ahead and look for ebook. Right. Just a little slow, but it'll give you that search link. And now before, you can just click straight on to go to the source. Before it would have like a off-campus link, but it doesn't have that anymore. So you would just go here and say I was looking at homelessness. Put the topic there, and then in the US, because I want to talk about that. Then you put search. Then it'll have different things. Oh, you want to look for get the PDF. So in a book, you're just going to focus on a section or a chapter. You're not going to have time to read everything. So you go ahead and you bring in that chapter to the research that you're doing, right? So then, let's see, if I was to click on this, opening the ebook, you can go ahead and you can also email or print a certain chapter, right? I was looking at these different, you can save it on your Google Drive. I was doing here, this one. You can save it on your Google Drive, you can print it, you can print a chapter, email a chapter. Then it also, remember that it has a citation help, so when you go here to cite, it will cite it APA format, but always check it with our Purdue website. So you would go ahead and copy this. But okay. And so it gives you that help. So this is for the ebook, because the first one is an ebook. Then you go back and you go to the online databases. So it'll depend on the topic that you're doing, but the most common is you go to general. Then academic search complete, the second is the second is the most common. It's called EBSCO. So now you just click on the database. Before it would have off-campus access, but not anymore. You just click straight to it. And you can go to academic one file. So I would go here at academic search complete. And you would put if it was homelessness, right? And the US. You want to have different search terms, which is what we're doing this week to kind of narrow down your topic. You always click full text. Right? And then I always like to put PDF full text too. And then you put search. So you're looking for magazine newspaper articles. This helps you if you want to do a journal article. This helps you to narrow down your search. So then some of them you look at the title and they do different experiments. Here they're looking at opioids, and so maybe that doesn't apply to you. So you look at the title or read the abstract. Here's a summary, and if you don't use, so you move forward. You go to the next one, right? Periodical. When you see periodical, it's newspapers, magazine, right? And so then, if I wanted to use this one, right? And over here, remember, you can narrow it down. You can just put, I just want magazines, right? I just want newspapers. So here are newspapers, right? And it'll just give me newspapers. Here they are. Okay. Also, you can limit down to what you want. You can also move the date to make it more current. Of course, you want maybe within the past, 10 years. And so then you can also refine your search more too. Okay. And so say I wanted this news article, right, that comes up. So that's how you go ahead and you're using the library to, it helps you because in the library, EPCC library, it's a place for you to look for newspapers and magazines and journal articles in one place. When you go online, you kind of have to sort through everything. Is this credible? Can you use this? You have to do an evaluation. And the EPCC library helps you to have that. So here is this newspaper, and once again, for all the articles that you find here on the side is this tool box. Let's say you can save it to your Google Drive, you can print it, you can email it. Always when you find something, save it or email it to yourself, because when you go back and you try to look for it, it's hard to find. And so then here are these different tools. The citation tool is this little page here. Go ahead and you click it. You go down and you look for the APA. Borrow, you can put it in your annotated bibliography, check it with Purdue, and it goes ahead and it gives you that APA citation. So that's how you start doing that. Close it. And so in the different databases, you go ahead and you can look at different ones. You can look by subject. You do the research, and well, I enjoy it.